US says 3 mystery objects likely private, with no China link.
Here's a summary of the article.
The Biden administration suspects that 3 unidentified objects downed since last Friday served commercial purposes and weren't used for spying, a judgment that may help ease anxiety over a Chinese balloon that traversed the US before being shot down. The intelligence community believes the objects, unlike the giant airship shot down on February 4, could just be balloons tied to some commercial or benign purpose, National Security Council spokesman John Kirby said Tuesday.
This post received a score of 24,000, with an upvote ratio of 93%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
Don't you have to coordinate with the FAA when you release objects into the atmosphere?
If you're in controlled airspace, absolutely. The one flying at 40,000 feet especially, as that's where jetliners fly and is squarely within Class A, so was the Chinese balloon but just barely. Class A ends at 60,000 feet. For high-altitude operations above 60,000 feet I'm not sure, as that's no longer considered controlled airspace. It seems like it would be a good idea to at least tell them about it, though. Edit. Apparently above Class A is Class A, so still controlled.
Especially since you aren't getting above 60k without hitting all of the airspace below it.
There's a legendary story about the State Route 71 Blackbird requesting a 60,000 feet flight path. Purportedly Flight Control said, "Sure, if you can get up to 60,000 feet you can have it." The State Route 71 military sources plane, which cruises at 75 to 85,000 feet said, "Roger that, descending to 60,000 feet?"
I swear there is actual cockpit audio of that encounter. I know I listened to something very similar, of a pilot saying something badass like that.
I like the LA speed story, with pilots having dick measuring contest by asking the tower for their ground speed. Worth a listen if you haven't heard it already.
We listened as the shaky voice of a lone Cessna pilot asked Center for a readout of his ground speed. Center replied, "November Charlie 175, I'm showing you at 90 knots on the ground." Now the thing to understand about Center controllers was that whether they were talking to a rookie pilot in a Cessna, or to Air Force One, they always spoke in the exact same, calm, deep, professional tone that made one feel important. Before Center could reply, I'm thinking to myself, hey, Dusty 52 has a ground speed indicator in that $1 million cockpit, so why is he asking Center for a readout? Then I got it. Old Dusty here is making sure that every bug smasher from Mount Whitney to the Mojave knows what true speed is. The reply, always with that same, calm, voice, with more distinct alliteration than emotion. Dusty 52, we have you at 620 on the ground. And I thought to myself, is this a ripe situation, or what? As my hand instinctively reached for the mic button, I had to remind myself that Walt was in control of the radios.
I swear I read this whole thing every time.
I didn't even fucking want to either. I was just gonna skip to the last exchange but ended up scrolling back up after a bit and starting from the beginning.
Me. Every time I see it, even after the 100th time. Then I have to go find the other one when they fall out of the sky and take off in front of a British airbase.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.